What? Dragon Ball Super didn't ruin power scaling? It's always been absurd. I mean, it's always been absurd after Frieza. So, but let's listen to it. You know what? It's a good thing to listen to, I guess.
I mean, I love Dragon Ball more than I'll probably ever love my own kids. Despite this, the community, myself included, have noticed a problem with the series, one that was talked about more and more as new arcs of Dragon Ball Super came out: power scaling. This isn't really an unknown. I mean, everyone knows that Dragon Ball Super is the reason power scaling is as bad as it is now.
Or is it?
Every fan has talked about how wild it is that Krillin can fight Super Saiyan Blue Goku, or how these multiversal
Wait,
threats
true.
can fight on Earth and other planets without destroying it. But what if I told you this has been an issue for a while? What if I told you Dragon Ball Super didn't ruin power scaling? It's
It didn't.
always been absurd. To
It's-
elaborate, let's dial
it's-
back to the original series. The one that started it.
The original series was the best. The best, dude. There was, in terms of power scaling, there is no contest. No fucking contest. They're the best power scaling in the series. You can there nobody in the chat can argue this with me. I don't care what you say. Later. Okay?
At all. Dragon Ball. It's generally considered the more grounded series out of all of them.
Actually, well, yeah, maybe you should see that as well. How do I do that? How do I do that? How do I do that, guys? How? Give me a sec. I'll make a new window for you. Let's see. Let's put it here. Maybe we should just do the thing, you know, the reverse. Just make the game smaller. But yeah. Anyways, let's go back a bit and let him say whatever he said.
Always been absurd. To elaborate, let's dial back to the original series, the one that started it all: Dragon Ball. It's generally considered the more grounded series out of all of them. No crazy yelling, no
Yep.
crazy ki blast fights for the
Yep,
most
yep.
part, right? Well, let's head to the first main arc with martial arts in it, the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, the final battle between the mysterious Jackie Chun and the young
Was
prospect
awesome.
Son Goku. Amazing hand-to-hand combat and generally a lack of crazy over-the-top stunts, until Goku sees the full moon and transforms into a great ape. So what does Jackie Chun do here? Cut off his tail? Somehow knock him out?
No, he
How
destroys the
about
moon.
Destroy the fucking moon. The
Yeah.
entire moon.
Yeah.
The sky! It's been demooned! It's gone! Well, with the moon destroyed, it can't possibly get full again, so Goku won't turn into a big ape.
Okay. You know, the thing with the moon is that yeah, I understand in terms of power level. Yeah, that's stupid. That's stupid. Because if he could destroy the moon in that way with only what was his power level back then, like 139, right? And maybe with a power up, the power up that he had, less than 500, less than 5. I don't remember what it was, but less than 500. Now, destroying the moon with that kind of power, I don't know. Like Vegeta destroyed an entire planet with when he was just, not even on full power. So what? Eight, 8,000? I don't know. I don't know. But in addition to that, the stupid thing that Dragon Ball had was that the moon always somehow came back, reformed. What? But yeah, like the series, if the series is good, any creation, if the creation is good, nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares that there are plot holes like that. So it's pretty much it's okay. It's okay because the series was awesome. Like you don't see the moon every fucking episode, so you know.
Do you know what Goku was doing before this? Fighting Yamcha, getting kicked into rocks and even the panel by him, and barely tanking bullets. Now he's fighting against someone who at full power can destroy the moon. Someone he ends
Letter.
up no diffing by the next arc. This was probably the first error in the series. Personally, I think that this was mostly supposed to be a gag, a bit over the top for a serious moment, but a gag nonetheless. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously because at the time, the manga was transitioning from a gag manga into a more serialized story. That being said, it's something that you can't really ignore with hindsight. It's an important power scaling moment that pretty much puts anyone stronger than Jackie Chun after this point, even though we never really see him again. I won't lie to you and tell you that Dragon Ball gets more
We do,
insane than
but
this.
yeah.
It's generally kept around this level, even if you look at the power levels in the Daizenshu. Things really start to get out of hand in the Saiyan saga. Enter Raditz, the brother of
Raditz.
Son Goku.
I mean, he's supposed to be like. Better.
Raditz is stronger than literally everyone else in the series we've seen up to this point. Raditz's power level is 1,500, much stronger than Piccolo at 408, and even stronger than Goku's strongest attack, the Super Kamehameha at 924. And these two are the strongest people on Earth by far. It isn't even close. It took Goku and Piccolo all their strength, plus a little luck from Gohan's hidden potential to actually defeat him. Goku even dies alongside Raditz. And as Raditz dies, he tells Piccolo that two of his allies who are even stronger than him will arrive a year from that point. Enter Vegeta and Nappa.
Ooh. Go easy. Ale.
These characters really threw things out of whack, not just in terms of their power
Oh,
level,
finally, a
but
tank.
everyone's power level. This is Goku's power level at this point in the arc. Pretty decently consistent, right? I mean, how much stronger can a guy really get within
according
a year?
to what
it took
source?
Goku about 20 years to get to a power level of 460.
Yeah.
There's no way a year could do that much more for him, right? And he's the main character. Except that's not Goku's power level. It's the Cybermen's power level. Characters created by the author to literally be fodder for the rest of the Z fighters. And Krillin, who was half of Goku's
His power level
in
when
the
he
arc
came
before
back
this,
was
a year ago at
5,000?
this point, is able to beat 3 of them at once. Each one of these is around Raditz's strength. In fact, everyone gets absurd power boosts. These characters weren't even half of Goku's power level in the last arc, and somehow they all match or surpass Raditz. Tien, Krillin, Yamcha, even Gohan. And somehow Chaozu is stronger than Goku and Piccolo in the last arc. This is Goku's real power level, over 8,000. Crazy, right? Well, he can also multiply it up to 4 times with his technique, the Kaioken, albeit with a large amount of strain. And Vegeta is somehow over double Goku's base strength. Whatever though, right? I mean, the numbers are all super high, but at the end of the day, they're all moon level. I'm sure you're getting tired of this, but wrong again. Vegeta threatens to destroy the entire planet Earth with his attack.
Your insolence just cost you this world! I'll blow it all to pieces, and there's nothing you can do to stop me!
Hey.
He's gonna what?
So Vegeta can destroy planets now? And so can Goku? As you can tell, it's
I
already
mean-
pretty absurd. Most characters from popular shonen will have already tapped out against Raditz. But this is nothing. This pales
Frieza.
in comparison to the dictionary definition of power creep. Frieza.
I am Emperor of the Universe! The likes of you are only fit to grovel at my feet! Now then, which one of you should be the first to see hell? To die! In disgrace! At the hands of your master!
I'll be the first to say
Frieza.
it. I love Frieza. I adore this evil space Hitler. I don't care about the power creep problem. I love Frieza. Iconic villain. But as I said in the beginning of the video, power creep I can't ignore. Frieza destroyed power scaling for the entire series going forward. Making a character so much stronger than the main character is so obscene. I don't know how Toriyama got away with it and still made peak. Let's put this into perspective. This is Goku's power level before going to planet Namek. After a Zenkai boost
When he
and
got to planet
7
Namek,
days
I
of
think
training
his
in
max
gravity, Goku goes
his
from a
max
power
was
level of this
180k.
to a power level of this, 90,000. I mean, this Frieza guy's got to be super strong, right? To have to make Goku a power level of 90,000? Usually the villains are stronger than Goku anyway, so it's gonna be a tough fight, right? This is only against one of his subordinates, Captain Ginyu. After this fight, Goku is damaged very badly again, so he heals again. After coming back from this Zenkai boost, Goku has
Again.
a power level of, I kid you not, 3 million. Within a month from the 80,000 power level, Goku has increased his power by 375 times. Such a staggering amount for a character to do in any series, and yet he still pales. All pale in comparison to the galactic tyrant Frieza. Goku with a 375 times increase
Even
and a
Super
power
Saiyan,
level
he,
of 3
says,
million
on
is
Super
still
Saiyan,
only
he was like
2.5%
equal.
of Frieza's full power. Even with Goku's strongest Kaioken, a times 20 Kaioken, which does unbelievable
It's
amounts
just
of damage to his body, he's still only at
60 million.
50% of Frieza's power.
Yeah.
You can probably do the math, but Frieza's full power is
120
120 million. The main villain of the arc before this had a power level of 18,000. The main villain before
Frieza
Frieza in
broke
this whole saga
everything.
had a power level of 120,000. This did irreparable damage to the entire series. Every single character in every single
It was
important fight
Frieza
is
that
so
broke
much stronger than
everything,
this.
but
But enough about big numbers. Toriyama threw that out after the Frieza saga because obviously they got to a point where it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was insane.
What? Are you supposed to say Majin Buu had a power level of 25 billion?
Blah,
Like, that's such
blah.
an obscene number. You might as well give it up at that point. I can see exactly why Toriyama threw out the idea. But
yeah, and the thing that I liked on Dragon Ball, the reason that I like Dragon Ball so much, the original series, is because the series back then had a minor like boost to power levels each time. Like so, I think that by the start of the series, Goku had only one, two, 10. Uh, what do they call it? The 10 power level. His power level was only 10, and when he went to Ozaru form, he was 100 because it's times 10 basically. So I don't remember what was the by the end of it. I don't remember how much what the boost was, but it wasn't insane. The boost was only like to 50 maybe something like that. And yeah, like the others, the other it was only like the boost and increase and difference between him and others were always like by single to two to maybe like a 110 like 10 or something like that below 20 difference between him, and the increase was also something like that, so it wasn't that bad. But yeah, I mean I don't think Raditz destroyed it. I think that Raditz is part of the story of Frieza. It's the whole thing. I think he made Frieza first, and then he made the whole story around Frieza. And to make the story around Frieza, he had to make the Saiyans and stuff like that. Because before that, in Dragon Ball, in the original series, Saiyans weren't a thing. So he had to create like a story to make sense of the Saiyans or Goku in general. Goku was just, a regular kid with a tail. In the original series, there were a lot of like weird creatures in the world that were just accepted, like tiger humanoids, wolf humanoids, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean it was weird for him to have a tail, but it wasn't like out of the ordinary, let's say. Like having a tail in the original series was way more normal than seeing a humanoid tiger or wolf. But yeah,
by this point, it was too late. In the next arc, a stronger mechanical Frieza is no diffed by Super Saiyan Trunks, who's relative to Super Saiyan Goku at this point. Trunks says straight up he's no match for the androids in his future. Trunks later on says that the androids of our timeline are even stronger than the ones he faced.
The ones that I fought in my own time were never anywhere near this powerful.
I wasn't strong enough to beat them, but at least we were somewhat evenly matched.
This guy who no-diffed the guy who ruined power scaling is getting no-diffed by the androids. Piccolo ends up going from second form Frieza level to being able to fight on par with the stronger of the two androids, Android 17,
Yeah.
outright threatening his life with an attack. Then Cell arrives and is stronger than them, able to no-diff Piccolo and 17. And then 16 is stronger than Imperfect Cell, and then Cell absorbs 17 and starts no-diffing everyone there, including 16. Vegeta and Trunks train for a year in the time chamber, and then suddenly they can no-diff semi-perfect Cell. Someone who's at this point leaps and bounds stronger than Frieza at full power, and then Vegeta lets Cell absorb 18 and become perfect, making Cell able to literally tank a full-powered final flash from a Vegeta who was just no-diffing him. And then Goku and Gohan come out of the time chamber after less than a year of training, and even less strength training considering Goku had to teach Gohan how to turn Super Saiyan for half the time. And they're so much stronger than Vegeta and Trunks that Goku makes sassy comments about it to Vegeta.
Of course, it's fine if the rest of you go in there and train as hard as you need to give yourselves a fair shot. Don't overdo it, but you can stand to beef up just a little bit.
Is that a fact? Mind your tongue. I'm not an imbecile. I know when I'm being patronized, and I don't care for the suggestion that you're stronger than me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wasn't really suggesting.
What?
Goku fights Cell decently on par despite the fact that he's holding back, and still quits to say Gohan's stronger and Gohan should beat him. Gohan goes Super Saiyan 2 and then no-diffs Perfect Cell, ultimately beating him. And during this fight, Cell mentions how his Kamehameha can destroy a whole solar system, which is already something else.
Why think small? I've enough energy right now to annihilate your entire solar system.
Destroying the whole solar system doesn't just mean being able to destroy a star and the 9 planets orbiting it, 8 if you hate Pluto. It also includes all the moons, all the space debris, and all the empty space between all of these things as well, which is such a vast amount higher than just a couple hundred times of a planet that it's insane. And then the Buu saga gets even more wacky with all of this. Goten and Trunks are on par with the other Super Saiyans. They can also fuse into a warrior who's stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, someone who's at least, and it's implied he's way stronger, but at least 4 times stronger than Gohan was against Cell. A solar system level character, and he's 4 times that. Then Gohan becomes the strongest unfused fighter, only really being weaker than Bootanks / Buhan and Vegito. Vegito is able to no-diff Buhan, who has literally everyone else absorbed inside of him, even a Gohan who can no-diff everyone else besides Buhan. Then Goku is able to fight equally on par with Kid Buu, who's probably on par with the first Majin Buu we saw. And somehow, Dragon Ball Super makes this even worse. But everyone knows that much already. Overall, does the power creep ruin Dragon Ball? Nah, it honestly wasn't as bad as it could have been, and the series still kept a more grounded vibe despite the crazy moon-busting feat. Does it ruin Dragon Ball Z? For me, not really. I love Dragon Ball Z more than Dragon Ball because of just what it did for the characters and how concise of a story it truly feels. It honestly just felt like Toriyama was trying to set the bar higher and higher because he just kept outdoing himself, which unfortunately had a side effect of power creep. I doubt he even thought about all these numbers and things in his head while writing. No writer of shonen or any action-based thing ever truly does. And how about Dragon Ball Super? Well, personally, I gotta cut it some slack. The power creep, as bad as it is, can't ruin something that was never really good. I'm more worried about how it ruins things retroactively, making everything before it feel obsolete and disrespecting certain things like the Super Saiyan transformation and the characters I grew to love. I feel like one thing to learn from this is that you shouldn't really take this stuff too seriously. At the end of the day, it's just a fictional series written by a goat who was trying to have fun while doing it. He didn't intend for people to pick it apart and truly think about it like this, because he didn't think like that. So why would he expect us to think like that? But anyway, that's it for this video. Love you. Bye.
Ah, man. Yeah, yep. The destruction, the destruction. The power level issue was always there. It's just, you know, I don't know. People just, they can, I don't know anymore. Like, people are always critical of things like that. Every creation like has these kinds of issue. Um, But in that case, I don't think like people could do much about it. Like, it's not like you can go back. It's not like a game where you can, change it and then it might be different. Once something like that happens, maybe. Well, I don't know anymore because it's the same. It's the same with WoW. Now that I think about it, it's the same with WoW. Blizzard can't take the story of WoW now and just retcon it. Well, he didn't answer, so fuck him. They can't retcon it. The the story of WoW is just, I don't know. It sucks. It sucks really bad. Somehow. I mean, the same thing goes for the Lich King, Arthas, at least. Arthas could use like the Fury of Frostmourne, I think it was called, the attack that basically killed all the players. We train for who knows how long, and then he fucking kills us all. And then somehow Tyrion just gets released from the ice that he was trapped in. Couldn't he fucking do that at the start? That's one thing that I have to say. And the second thing is that like how does a sword like Frostmourne gets destroyed so easily? Why? Why was it broken that way? Jeez. But yeah, that's just, for the story. And yeah, like people might have issues with that. I don't care. Like as long as I'm happy with the story, I can ignore a lot of things. But like I said earlier, the better a creation is, the as long as you have more aspects that you can enjoy, you will ignore other things. Like it's basically the types of a percentage. If you don't like broccoli, for example, in your food, and let's say that you eat soup, if you eat soup which has only like 1%, 2% broccoli in it, you can eat the soup no problem because you have like 99, 90, 98% of the soup that you can enjoy. It starts to become a problem when the broccoli percentage starts to be like 20%, 25, 30 or over. I'm gonna try to gouge her on time, but I failed. Facts say, well, he's dead, right? Yep, pretty much. Later! Fuck, I think I missed. Yep, missed. Fudge. I can try, but